Dr. Roman Veneer reporting from New York City in Battery Park. Over the last 2 years, continues things continue to worsen from the focus of retail pricing of consumer goods. As a business major, it's an alarming rate, and it's happening at a accelerated pace. Businesses are undoubtedly raising prices by the week, 7 days. So it's rising eyebrows. Um, Yesterday, I developed a document and I passed it across Albany, Attorney General, Consumer Affairs, people that I have contacted already over variable costing in Lower East Side in regards to Whole Foods and Tribeca and Dwayne Reed and the same concept. Rapid increases in price with no basis or foundation. The premise of the people involved in these businesses is that items are too cheap. Um, it came to my attention that 18 states are adding rules to EBT, and these rules are going to undoubtedly affect 1.8 million Americans based on what they consume daily to make caloric needs meet till the end of the month. These health change to EBT rules are going to omit soda, candy, chips, um, pastries, and even processed meat or processed protein goods. So they might ban glizzies or hot dogs, ham, Oscar Mayer products, bologna. They might ban the ham. So I created a 16-page document outlining the very specific reasons why New York should not follow through with this based on this current retail war that we're experiencing. The best way to explain it in a financial sense for the guys that are following me that know a little bit about finance is that looking at supply demand economics, if a retailer is lowering the price to get customers in the door, they so also lower costs, right? So if a single business is outpacing laundry detergent or energy drinks because they're the most affordable in that place, surrounding retailers drop the price because they have to sell their stock too. They're not going to leave it there on the shelf to expire or have to remove from the shelf entirely. In the case of New York City, it's acting like the complete opposite. Higher prices are influencing even higher prices across surrounding retail. And it's consistent and it's rapid and it's less than 7 days. And it's an item you got less than 4 days ago, immediately receiving a 80, 200% increase, maybe 60%, 200, 300% increase overnight. And it's alarming. It's something that Mandani, the new mayor of New York City, is will attack with felonies based on point of sale systems, and what he plans to implement with his strike force. What Mandani plans to do is to investigate point of sale systems, sticker prices, price fairness, and also implement military style commissary, PX. If you know what a military supermarket is, basically the same principle. A place where items are affordable, owned by the state, buildings owned by the state, reducing the cost of running a business in New York City. Hopefully it works. Hopefully they involve Sam and Walmart too. Hopefully they start, figuring out that you need a lot of support from other corporations to lower the price before a plan like uh, stopping want the people on EBT to buy certain food items based on health principles. The premise is well, to healthy and reduce diabetes and other health factors, but reality is that people need chips and soda to get by, and basically a caloric boost. And they also need it to make ends meet month to month based on the amount of SNAP that most people receive, which is $300, $298. There's a lot of people under USDA calorie guidelines on a day by day basis just to stay on track to have food throughout an entire month period. And even then, at just chips and soda, which is a $6 transaction, the body naturally needs more food. You're going to enter 5 to 7 dollar transactions on the lowest, 10 to 15 when you want to satiate your hunger. And those 10 to 15 are going to be under 1,400 calories in 21 to $25 days or more, 25, even $37, because your body is at a calorie deficit every day. Basically, people on EBT are on a permanent diet, and it's a it's a good number. 1,400 calories is a pretty good number when the macros are met. So if they're having grains, if they're having carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vegetables, right? Vegetable protein, it's a pretty good diet to lose weight. So everyone in this city on EBT is at or lower than such a diet on a day-to-day basis, just to have something to eat till the end of the month. So Mandani, I already given you some quick examples, and let's go to what's happening. Over the last 2 years, prices continue to go higher, or certain items continue to be targeted um, by retailers, and things that you got yesterday, maybe 3 days ago, are being ran up. Less than a month ago, the beginning of December is January 2nd. In a 72-hour period, I was charged extra, and things that I previously purchased in multiple places went up simultaneously. Here's the example. The second week of December, I went to Shake Shack here in Battery Park. I got a hamburger and a fries for $15.22. And that's pretty typical of the price for my meal. 15 is a good number. It's a whole pizza pie from 7-Eleven. It's a very consistent number for a lot of variability. So you could have quite a varied diet. Unsustainable on EBT daily, but possible if you have cash at hand or cash assistance. I ate that hamburger and fries 2 days in a row because it was my first time trying it. It's the first time. I was like, all right, what? 1, 2. When one day tasted it, that's a good burger. That's a good price. Went back the next day, had it again. I came back the next week, maybe Wednesday or Thursday, got it again. The price went up. It went from 15 dollars and 20 cents to 17 and 60 something odd cents because they had increased the price of the burger less than 7 days before after I made the purchase. And this is consistently what's been happening to me across every retailer in the Tribeca area over the last 2 years. I have examples of the same pattern of financial or retail misconduct across all of the above. So let's continue on the 72-hour period. The next day, I go to Walgreens. I get a Monster Slim Jim, three of them, 280. Around two, I think it's 280 at the at the sticker. I think it was 280, 260 something. I get a Hershey bag of chips, which is a tiny, not Frito Lay brand, really tiny bag of chips, jalapeno, and a 20-ounce Dr. Pepper. The person behind the cash register decided to take that 260 Slim Jim and upcharge me $3.99 per Slim Jim at the cash register. He scanned them like if they were $4 each. Boop, boop, boop. He rang me up $17.50. So in 2 days, coordination between two or perceived coordination between two retail establishments, I'm down more than $30. The next day, a Saturday, I go to Starbucks. I get a small pike, the typical, the same coffee I get on Sunday because the Amazon Go store is not open. As I'm getting the purchase, an African American female is approaching me saying, "Oh, you have to charge him more." She tried whispering it, but it was loud. I take my coffee, I inspect it, and I received a small pike of coffee in the cup that's not the small pike cup, in the doppio cup, and it happened three more times that I got it until I got a grande. I think it was New Year's, Christmas Day, and New Year's Eve. I got them twice, and by New Year's Eve, I had to go back to the small cup, which they made it the grande. Perceived very small negligent increase. 73, 74, 395, so 30% increase. But the attempt was made in a 72-hour period, more than $34 based on negligent purchases, based on the retail war, plus another 30% on the side, and a portion that's not the same thing I bought the last time I was there. Today, I go to the Amazon Go store as typical 6 in the morning because I sleep in sub-zero temperatures. So I go there to get coffee. The coffee machine is broken. I was like, okay, so let's get Red Bull. I was thinking about the price. I was looking. Uh, I really want a Red Bull 20 ounce. So there's a 12-ounce Red Bull for three, 8 rounds Red Bull for two. Okay, let's get two for five and get 16 ounces. About five something to get 16 ounces of Red Bull in a bowl with sausage and meat. As I'm looking before I get the bowl, I'm looking at the Slim Jims. The Slim Jim at Amazon Go used to be $1.69, and I had it last weekend. I would say Christmas Day. Christmas Day also. That same Christmas Day that I had the mayonnaise and nothing else was open, but that was no before Christmas. I think it was Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve, sat here with mayonnaise, put my own mayonnaise on it, ate it with other food items, and I got only one. Today I go there, a 200 and how much? No, how much increase is it? A 60% increase based on a sticker change. In some sticker changes, price changes, changes are at the store, changes at the cash register are all considered what the new major is going to be targeting. The strike force is attacking that. And price fairness is going to be a big deal during his term in office. His goal is to lower prices because it's needed. And if they're going to change EBT laws, nobody's going to, people on EBT are not spending $21 to $25 a day so that they could run out of EBT by the 10th of the month, or 10 to 15 on EBT so that they run earlier than expected. It's going to be a little difficult to get $10 in the store if you're not going to get chips and a soda, and it's going to be a little difficult. Or pastry. It's going to be really touchy, a real touchy subject. How are you going to make it to the 25-day mark with the same 298 balance if you can't get pastry chip, if you can't get the most affordable items in the store that they're planning to ban? Oh, hopefully felonies start, so I'm saying here on video, felonies start occurring based on sticker and point of sale errors, right? If the employee is getting access to stickers, but the point of sale is the original number, but they manage a way to charge consumers a certain price, basically a document is incorrect across three mediums: point of sale, the sticker, the receipt. Because the receipt's also part of the deal. Every transaction is kept at the cash register. If you can't find the price on the receipt roll, on the sticker, and it's not the point of sale, it's a felony. Mandani's gonna start arresting people for jacking it up. So if employees, right, want to be playing with stickers and want to be increasing small prices, a honey bun, and making a honey bun that's a dollar 99% increase plus tax, a way greater number, because that's basically where the pain happens, right? Like let's say the honey bun is not 199, it's 299, and you go to the cash register and the tax for that is 50 cents, 35 cents. It's not going to be a quarter tax. I mean, maybe 35 cents, 50 cents, or sometimes phantom taxing, which is also happening in the city, in which equal transactions yield different taxing. So you'll be getting the same thing. You'll be getting the same bag of chips and soda Monday. You pay 35 cents in tax. Tuesday, Thursday, you get 75 cents, and you look at it and because when you swipe it, you're seeing the cash register post a tax. You're seeing the number variability, 35, 75. You're seeing these changes in which it's all part of the retail war and part of what New York has to be attacking. The ultimate goal, right, would be to the PX, military commissary supermarkets, corporate help that I did not include yesterday. New York City needs a Walmart, and it needs a three-story Walmart. It needs multi-million dollar real estate, quarter block, with with all the bells and whistles, even the bicycle out there, and the price low, to see what New York City retailers are going to do. And hopefully enough supply so that the shelves don't empty. 'Cause that's a big factor in the city. There's 8 million people here. And even Walmarts that are far on North Queens, almost Long Island, or closer to Long Island in Queens, Walmart is devoid of products. The shelves are empty. It's not stocked properly. It looks like a pandemic happened. So what the city needs, 3, 4 Walmarts that are menacing, that are a big threat to every retail establishment in the city, military commissary from the PX, from the major, same pricing structure as the Walmart, all attacking retailers to realize, wait a minute, why is nobody coming to buy things here? You got a massive Walmart, you got a massive state funded supermarket that should influence everyone around them in lowering the price. Yesterday, I sent an email to everybody. 16 emails did not go through because their systems are um, case by case basis. So if I want to email um, consumer consumer affairs, it's a case by case. I gotta make a complaint in a form of complaint about a specific business. But with this document, I unleash it to CNN, to NBC, to Fox, to ABC, to Seven in the News, to Sanjay Gupta, CNN, the CNN, to the attorney, everyone. Everyone got my document because it's a big deal. And I got referent power. That's the best part about me. Most people don't realize that doctors have an important role in society. And what I'm picking is not a walk in the park, it's not walking your dog, it's serious business. You know, how can you solve the problem? Point of sale control, no stickers anywhere in the store, not even pre-manufactured ones, not even pre-manufactured ones. Nothing. If an employee is gonna do misconduct, right? Pursue Persuade a felony in his employment, um, find it, locate it, right? We're gonna take a little sticker from work, try to copy it, right? Have a copy to make it his own at home or whatever with a printer. The goal is constraining employee freedom to ensure that prices go down because where they're going is higher up. And it's anything I touch, it's like I'm a celebrity out here. You know how celebrities get extorted and a single soda is $5. That's basically how it feels to be living out here. Anything you touch turns to gold. When you come back to get some more, the hammer has been hit and and the price went higher. And you go somewhere else, you like something that's new, it's tasty, it's delicious. You come back to get it again, the hammer hit. You found something that's affordable, you get it once, you don't abuse it. Here in Amazon Go, I got only one Slim Jim at $1.69 just to complement the meal. I come back just not to get it, but just to look for it like a secret shopper, just to check for the Slim Jim. The hammer went down. Again, it's everything I touch. And I fear that, my observations are constrained to the Tribeca area in Battery Park. Not on these food court retailers, which are luxury, right? But mostly retail corporate owned corporations. And I fear that the whole city is like this. I fear that this is the entire city. Because if it's this concentrated, localized, aggressive, I think this is more everywhere. So certain people are recognizing these financial or retail discrepancies and are technically feeling the same way. I don't know if they're feeling the same way, but I am noticing everything. I am noticing the transaction, the price, the taxing, everything is in play. Hope you'll have a good day. Dr. Roman Bonilla here, leaving a little video for all these followers here. Hopefully, the email starts getting contacts or at least awareness. That's all I want. I don't want them to contact me. I don't want an interview. I don't want to explain it in detail. I don't want to. I don't want to enter a social study work. Right. I don't want to do a case study on it. This is awareness because if I did a case study, my methods would become scientific. They're already partly scientific because I'm basing the prices. I'm basing the foundation of the document based on how I made it to the end of the month, but to build the case study, multiple observations, multiple witnesses, and the tightening of to get the essence or the core of the issue. Based on the employees, it's too cheap. It's too cheap and charge him more. That's it. That's all that it is. That's what the persons inside those establishments are saying. It's too cheap, charge him more. And it's happening. The city better the city gotta wake up. Because if this path continues, EBT service is going to be the least popular alternative to survive out here, and that's not going to fix itself overnight. That's going to be permanent. It's going to be like other cities. I've never tried to get EBT anywhere else but the city, because anywhere else you're not going to get it. You're not going to get EBT in Pennsylvania. You're not going to get EBT in New Jersey. You're not going to get EBT in Florida. This is the best state to come out of state, to be homeless and have food and enjoy, you know, the amenities, the freedom to do whatever you want in the city. But if that freedom is constrained, just homeless people are gonna vanish. It's gonna look like Houston, Texas, like Atlanta, Georgia. Empty streets, some businesses. It's gonna start. Not gonna be. It might still remain a very populous, high population density place, but a certain demographic is not gonna be there. They're they're gonna they're gonna become small numbers. Let's say Savannah, Georgia. Just if you see a homeless person, they're gonna be sitting in the park. There's gonna be three, four of them. You're not gonna see another one through the entire area. Big group, a big area is gonna be three people that are transient or in or out of the town, and police, surveillance, harassment, and many reasons why the backpackers, don't go anywhere else but here, because anywhere else you're a target. Everyone's already looking. Oh, who's that guy with the backpack? Here, it's common to have people that do what I'm doing as a doctor as a pastime. They live in another state. They come here. They stay here for 6 years, have jobs, work, do whatever they want, go back somewhere else, stay over there, and they're all off a bag. Hope y'all have a good day. Dr. Roman Bonilla, pay attention. Pay attention to retail pricing. Pay attention. Eye on the wallet. Get a financial application if possible to track your earnings. Look at the receipt. Don't ask for the receipt. Look at the point of sale. Right, the monitor before making transactions. Have memory to notice taxing discrepancies, pricing discrepancies across the same items, and start identifying, in essence, what New York City has to focus on so that when shit hits the fan, people could survive. Because if not, it's going to be more than 100,000 people that left the city. Like if if EBT hits right now and restricts people from processed meats, Slim Jims, soda, chips, candy, pastry, it's over. It's over. If 100,000 people left, it's probably going to be a mass exodus. Million, maybe a million people leaving the city. Everyone on EBT finding a better place to live. That's reality right there. That could be a real possibility. That's on the table right now. If things don't change quickly, that's the future. that's the future. And all it takes, simple retail principles: control, lock and key, point of sale, receipt, stickers, limited access, no freedom, no whatever they want, control, consistent, right? Consistent job, and encourage the means of what they want. Like you're not gonna constrict the retail employee at a retail position. If I was in such a situation, I'm not here to make sure they don't steal. I'm the complete opposite. I would open a safe for them. I would open the safe with the surplus cash register money in there and the profit before the deposit. If my deposit is once a week or everyday deposit, if it's a good business, I would leave that there and come back tomorrow and deposit it, not take it at the end of the night to deposit it in the morning. And let them take there. I'm not gonna complain. I'm gonna tell them, it's like, hey, 200's missing. The entire group, maybe even call them, hey, 200 is missing. But I would stop them from passing the money they want to take from the business by changing what we pay at the retail store. That's day one. You have to limit all of this and just open the cash register. Do what you want. That's the most effective method to deal with the situation. And a little some rotary shifts and contracts will go a long way. Many, like I already said it yesterday on video, many of New York City retail problems come from bad apples, organizational antibodies, people that have been there a long time and start disliking the process, don't like their job too much. They run into life issues, and that's why rotating employees is key. That's why having a healthy influx of employees on a consistent basis is better than tenure. Long-term employees in the long run, it's way better. Well, you give them a contract. When you hire them, you say, you want to work here, you're going to work here for 6 months, sign here. Your contract ends here, this date. You look at it, 6 months is fine. And some of them is going to work less than that. So for kids, 16, employable. 16, 17, 18, 3 months. You got 3 month contract. After that, at the end of this 3 months, I might extend it 2 more months, but you could find yourself a new job. And with the contract, you make sure that they don't sue, that they don't complain, because they know the end date. It's like a job, it's a shift. They know that their time in these 2-3 days they're gonna work a week, they're gonna do it to here. And that's freedom. And kids love that. And they make their money. And that's it. And New York City needs that. Because people here work in low hanging fruit job, 15-year, right? Like you got New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and they work 3 months in a job, 6 months if they're good, if they made it a while in it, half a year, 3 times a week, and then another one replaces them just to get experience, get a solid experience pool, and they jump to another job. So here they work 10, 15, and at fault here, HRA programs, basically all these incentives to get people to work, and it just decreases the freedom, um the way of how small town America does it versus how the big city does it. You're going to see the same person 15 years in the same 20 years in the same supermarket, in the same McDonald's. It's not going to change, and that's basically where the skimming comes from. That's where they start thinking on how to gain, and maybe they'll change stickers, maybe they'll steal products. The soda might be gone. They'll take food items. They'll take soap from the back, toilet paper, tissue paper, paper towels. They'll figure it out based on how long you've given them the freedom to do so. But it's simple. The city could learn a lot from small town America, because small town America hires kids. It's kids across the board, not grown old people, in these low hanging fruit jobs. It's kids everywhere. Kids in a supermarket, kids at a Burger King, kids at a Chipotle, kids at McDonald's. It's really low to big difference in perception in who works the jobs that prices are rising like if it's a race to the biggest number, and who is working out there, you know. Like, I don't think kids are gonna be doing that over there. It's different. It's just a job, and their food tastes better. When a kid makes when a 17-year-old kid makes a hamburger at Burger King and does those onion rings, that's probably the best hamburger of your life. I don't know. Kids make better food. I don't know what it is, but they add a lot of mayo. They're not skimping. A lot of tomato. They are real unique when it comes to this, and they'll be like, you get the gist of it. They're really good, and they'll treat you pretty well back there. They get accustomed to doing this a particular way. Once it's 15 years, they'll start thinking a little different. They've done it too long, and quality might take a dive. So yeah, gotta let you guys go. 7 o'clock. I gotta do a few things on a computer. I already explained what's happening in New York. I wish I could post a copy of the document, but I think it's confidential. I'm gonna keep it for official people only. And let's see if New York City starts changing, because I don't want to live through uncertainty of what I like increasing in price by the next week. Nobody wants to live like that. Nobody wants to live realizing that you're never going to be able to save money, because they're going to continue increasing the prices of the things that you consume in 7 days. You're never going to consume. You're never going to save. You're never going to move up. You're never going to buy something new. You're going to stay the same, because these people are just taking more from you over time, and more and more and more and more. That's not America. That's something else. It's counterculture. So New York City needs counterculture surveillance in a big way to ensure that we at best, small town America. I know it's going to be difficult for some people based on cost of living and so on and so forth. There's not enough high level paying jobs to house everyone. That's why they do it at a certain way, right? So they're not going to be able to pay rent, small town retail employment, and so long. But big changes have to be made, big ones, large, and Punishment has to come. It should be, people should be punished if you on a week by week basis are paying more for the same thing you consumed yesterday. If you in less than a 7 day period is paying more for something you just had, is unacceptable. It should be a felony. Mandani's right on that. There should be real punishment. Um, to finalize, a suggestion that I gave after a testimony, because I added myself as a witness, um, is to add a fair pricing scale. So basically, most New York City businesses have a sanitation grade. It's like A, B, C. It's S, S, A, B, C, D. You never see anything but C. Lower than C, they're they're still working to get it better. So they should do the same thing with prices. A state employee, maybe consumer affairs, maybe a certain group, maybe even from sanitation, goes in there and start looking at everything at the same time. Their ingredients, tear weight, right? Products in bulk, that weight, the tear, MSRP, percent of gain, corporate, if they're a corporation, how much the corporation wants to earn on those products, which is not going to be a lot. Target, Walgreens, Whole Foods, it's not going to want 300% on some item, 100% on some item. They're going to want what's permissible, what makes them the profit, which is some percent. And it's usually in the cents range. It's not going to be a dollar range. You're not going to be asking, oh, it has to be sold $3 more. It's not going to happen. That's not realistic. Realistic is volume demand, not luxury demand. It's per volume. That's basically how big retailers price supply based on demand. They want to sell more of a product to make a to make a profit, and sell less product and make more money. So the government should be looking at what they got, inventory, the point of sale document, right? The receipt, the sticker, looking. They have a memory of the low item. Hopefully they're smart people. They're looking. You see, these items in other stores are a certain price, and start and grade that. Also, if it's fair or unfair, before we enter the pharmacy, if the pharmacy suspect, before we enter Target or before we enter any other place, we see the sticker on the door, show and tell. Everyone is gonna see it's clean. It's a clean place. It got A sanitation, and fair pricing is B grade. That's probably a good place to buy. But if it's C, or it's undefined, or that document is not there, then you could probably tell that they're still in the process of developing, proper fairness in pricing. If not, like I said, it's not looking good to do that. It doesn't feel right for you to be paying more for the same thing you bought last week at a random notice, and you're looking for something new to eat, and you come back and it's more expensive. You start eating Slim Jims, Slim Jim goes up. You start eating hamburgers, you eat your first hamburger, you love it, you come back the next day, next week is up. I'm not Rockefeller, I'm not Donald Trump, I don't have $1 million. Like, I'm not filthy rich. It should be fair for me and for everyone else. Hope you'll have a good day. Peace, Dr. Roman Bonilla. I'll see you guys later. Let me see if the Let me turn on the reactions. See if they work. Reactions working? Let me see if are they working? Hold on. There we go. Bye bye.